Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to a special edition of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. I am your lone host today, Dom, and I'm coming to you because I've gotten what many people out there on the indie scene consider a pretty big guest. You may know him from CWF. You may have seen him if you're a member of our Top Rope Wrestling Talk group on Facebook, or if you have followed him on Facebook. He's kind of a big deal now. He's kind of getting to be everywhere. We know him, we love him, we think you're gonna love him too. The man, the myth, the cannabis king, the bud man, my dude, the literally king or the literally god of sticky green on the indie scene. Buddy Flowers, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, my guy?
Hey Dom, thank you for the kind words. I am not a big deal though. Please, I am still a very small fish. But thank you for being so nice. I
Well,
appreciate that.
you're a big deal to us, damn it.
Well, yeah, I mean, because this is a dream that Buddy has been me trying to accomplish for a very long time. And if you know me, I've wanted to do it since I was a kid, and I didn't have the confidence to do it for a very long time. So that's a little motivation for you people out there. It takes time to build the confidence, but one day, if you truly want to accomplish something, you will find some way to get in the business or in the line of work you want to be in, whatever it is, and you'll get there, one day at a time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and you can't achieve your dreams in the same time either. So,
No, see, that's a wonderful point because I know people, think about trying or get into training and just bounce because they're like, oh, I can't take it or I can't do it or whatever. It takes a while to build up that confidence and that drive inside to really want to go and pursue that dream and get to where you've been. So I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself. And now I know you already touched on how long you were a fan. What actually got you into wrestling? Like, was it the E? Was it a certain show you went to? Was it, what
I
made Buddy want to watch and be eventually one day a wrestler?
I actually got into wrestling watching it with family members, watching it with grandfather, dad, and brothers and stuff like that. And then eventually you grow up, you start watching it on your own, you start having your own opinions. Because when you're a kid, you can't really understand much. It's a big spectacle. I remember going to a show and I was really, really young and just wanting to leave because it was very loud and I couldn't see anything. So you get a little bit of it young, but as you grow, you start to understand it and you start to realize what you like, whether it's the good guy or the bad guy or the quirky guy or the guy that doesn't matter or the clown or the giant monster man or the demon person or the freaking Japanese warriors and stuff, because that's what wrestling was. It was characters, and there's so much of it. It was like watching comic books come to life in a way. You've got all these enriching characters. They can be crazy stuff that just doesn't make sense. And then you've got, your normal dudes out there and you're just watching this giant spectacle. And it's more than just a sport, I guess, to me. It's one of the only living forms of theater art I think are left. A lot of people don't understand that. Um, it's a lot of emotion. I know growing up, you have uncontrollable emotion. You don't really know how to feel about things and you don't know how to control the way you feel about things. So when things happen, the bad guy wins, you just get really upset. Or when the good guy wins, you just blow your top and lose it. And those emotions change and you learn to not only accept, but just truly just love what you're watching when you get older. You take it in with a different meaning. It's not just uncontrollable emotions anymore. You're watching a craft, you know? You can watch two guys go out there and not only put their life on the line, but entertain a audience of up to 70,000 if they get the opportunity. And it's just one of the things, one of the few things that you just can't find anywhere else in life.
Oh, no doubt, my dude. I'm definitely with you on all that. Now, speaking of the craft, is there anybody that like anybody doing the craft in professional wrestling that you kind of try to model yourself at over, or anybody that kind of inspires what you do as far as a worker in the ring, or you just go out there and say like, I'm gonna do my thing and maybe let other people use me as a standard?
Well, I have influences, definitely. I know moving in the ring, one of my favorite superstars growing up when I was in middle school and stuff was Edge. And when I was coming up and training, my trainer told me all the time, I've got Edge legs. And I guess it's just from watching it, just from, him being my role model for so long, just the way he has a certain bounce. And it's one of
Hmm.
those things where they told me if you do, you're going to get lumped into comparison with that person. You're going to, everything you do is going to be Buddy versus Edge. So find your own, take your influences, take what you like. I don't do it anymore, thankfully. I've gotten out of the habit and I've got my own style now, I guess you would say. I don't have to try and replicate someone else's. But yeah, there's some definitely influences, some moves that I'd like to use frequently that I watched growing up and stuff like that. But I don't think there's like a certain, person that I'm molding myself after. Just Edge was the biggest role model for me, I guess, growing up. He was a superstar that I loved, and that was about, I guess, the only comparison I can have was I was told I have Edge legs, the way I used to bob them
Edge
around.
legs. I mean, he has distinctive legs, and he definitely had that bounce. From
Yeah, that was what
the
it was
the
was
the,
the
the
whole
curtain all the way to the ring. You know. So I get it, I get where you're coming from. I feel you on that, dude. Now let's get into a little bit of Buddy specifically because I know you have some mantras as a thing. Flower power, for instance. I know you could probably go on for days about that. I kind of get where you're coming from because I know you. Can you explain that mantra, that idea of flower power to the people watching?
Flower power to me, because I think it means something different to everyone. But to me, it's more than just a phrase or a motto. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's a place where you can put yourself and overcome any odds. It's not just something that you can say to get yourself lifted. Me, I put myself in the flower power state of mind when I'm out there in front of the fans because without the flower, you have no ability to be yourself. And that's what I think a flower truly represents is your uniqueness. The flower is you, and whatever you truly possess in yourself comes from the flower power. And if everybody just has a little bit of confidence, like I said earlier, gets a little bit of the motivation, finds what makes that flower inside themselves truly unique and truly beautiful, they can hold that power and show it to the world. And that's all I try to do out there in the ring.
Wow, man, that is dead ass. By the way, like I was waiting for like the generic wrestling. It's because I get high, you know. But it's so true. Like you find what's in yourself to keep you in that right frame of mind, or get you to that level that you didn't think you could go to. That's some deep shit. Like I know I wanted everybody to be able to understand where you were coming from when you said these sort of things. Now going forward, I know you're primarily a big part of CWF. And you have a huge match coming up, which I think is going to be awesome. Can you explain to the folks out there, YouTube and in group, what it's all about and what's going to be taking place and when, so we can all, make sure to tune in and check this out? Because I honestly, when you explained the match to me, I thought this is going to be awesome. Like I can't wait.
Yeah, it's definitely scary. We're almost less than 24 hours away from the 8-man lucha libre style cage of death. So what's going to happen is 8 individuals are all going to step inside this ring, and we're all going to put a little something on the line. Myself, I'm putting these beautiful locks on the line. A lot of other guys are putting their beautiful locks on the line. Some guys are putting their mask, their identity. Some would say the mask means more than hair. Who knows? We'll see, I guess. But 8 individuals are all going to step into this cage and risk it all for nothing, really. The winner gets nothing. This is not really a match where there is a winner per se. Um, it's going to start, and you're going to have a time limit until we can leave the cage, a 5-minute time limit. Once that 5-minute buzzer goes off, it's a mad dash. And you don't want to be one of the last two in the ring because once there is one on one, it is going to come a regular match. And whoever is pinned is the ultimate loser and receives the death penalty, which is, getting shaved bald right there on the spot or demasking in front of everybody. And it's all about pride, I guess, in this one, because like I said, there's nothing to really win. A lot of guys out there in this match hate each other. You would say my friend's dad, Number Bruh, who you know as my tag team partner and former tag team champion, his father does not like me. He is in this match. I'm going to have to
Wow.
try to find a way to avoid him for a while. Corruption, those dirty dudes. As you know,
Mm.
me and my pineapple brother have feuded with them for quite a while now.
Oh, no,
Two
no.
of the members of Corruption are in this match, but we do also have a couple of guys that we trust, like Cowboy Cool J, who is just one of the top stars at CWF. And then you've got the knockout guy himself, TKO, Teddy Ireland.
Mm.
So we've got a couple allies in there that we might be able to help us if the numbers, get against us. But at the end of the day, it's every man for himself. No one wants to be the final two in that ring. So if some guys have to cross some lines to make sure that they're not losing it all, got to do what you got to do. Only thing I do know is me and Number Bruh are on the same page.
Right, right. Like you guys are tight. I mean, I was just about to get into Pineapple Express. And by the way, I look like I already lost that match because my hair is getting gray. So if they'll let me fill in for you if you lose the match, because we cannot lose those locks, dude. We just can't. They're
Been
too
going
nice.
for quite a
Like
while now.
AJ Styles himself is jealous of your hair. Like we can't
I
let that
wish.
happen. I will jump in that cage if I have to. But no, it sounds like an amazing match. I kind of love when there's that grudge. Like there's no titles on the line. There's no, but there's personal issues, and people are trying to settle it, and people are trying to put it out there for the fans. That's some of the best wrestling. That's where you get some of the best wrestling, period, in the
Oh yeah,
industry. So I
a
think you
lot
guys
of
are onto something great. Um, I also wanted to, since you brought it up, get into Pineapple Express and the fact that you guys are so tight and on the same page. There it is. I want that shirt. You got to send me one of those. I'll be rocking that all the time. But, obviously you guys got tight pretty quick. You were kind of like a wild card team put together from what I remember. And that wild card team ended up becoming the CWF Tag Team Champions. Was that your first title that you had ever won in professional wrestling, or?
Yes, first title in the history of my career, and believe me when I tell you that that is a moment I will never forget. Um, there's nothing quite like it.
I, I honestly can't imagine, dude, because like I've trained and done a few things. I know some of our members and our followers have, but I don't think we've ever gotten to that level. So, like describe what that feeling was like when that bell rang and here's a referee handing you a championship, because I don't think anybody knows what that feels like, at least in this
Yeah.
place.
Um, we did win the match under some questionable circumstances, but it at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because, like you said, when the bell rung and the hands were held high, Pineapple Express was the name that was called, and we took those championships. And when I held it in my hand for the first time, I'm telling you, there's not a feeling that I've felt before that was quite like that. You know me, I'm the Bud man. I've experienced some highs and I've
Oh
experienced
yeah.
some lows, and there's never been a high that high before, my friend. It was a great moment, and like I said, it's a moment that I won't forget for the rest of my life.
Oh, I
To
know.
be
Like I watched it on Twitch, and we go back a ways. And when I saw that happen, I mean, it looked like I was crying, but I wasn't crying. Okay, maybe, but I felt so good for you, and I couldn't imagine what that was like. So I think it's awesome that you were able to kind of lay that out for us. I appreciate that, like to no end, because I can't even think like somebody's handing me a title. I'm a champion. What? Like I'm a group champion. That's the best I'm ever gonna get. So, I mean,
yeah,
congratulations again. I love the whole Pineapple Express thing. Like, we put your videos up in the Top Rope group. We've gone all over it. Like all the little funny, silly stuff you guys do, like prank calling and getting a pizza sent to Danny Vegas because you stole his fanny pack and all this shit. Like, it's just hilarious, dude. Like, you guys have such great chemistry. Um, now, are we gonna? I mean, I don't know if you can divulge this or not. If CWF will be like bad buddy, but is Pineapple Express in line for a title rematch at any point, or is that just kind of like we have to settle this first, like with this cage match coming up, or?
yeah, currently there's some beef that is being settled. We're hoping to settle it in this cage match, but at the end of the day, you never know. Right now, Number Bra and I are struggling to keep our friendship alive because of his father. His father is a very bad individual, number dad that you may know,
Yeah.
and he doesn't like me very much. I don't know why he doesn't. He says I'm a bad influence. I don't understand why. I mean, when he started hanging out with me, his son became a tag team champion. I can't understand how that's a bad thing.
Right.
But he says I'm no good for number bruh, and he says that he needs to become corporate number bruh instead of Pineapple Express number bruh. So right now, number bruh's
Ah.
a little caught up in a tuffle with his dad, and I'm there to support him. So until we can get all the stuff ironed out of that, I don't think we'll be seeing that rematch anytime soon.
Oh man. Well, at least, cook the beef and then maybe we'll serve up a rematch later. But yeah, I get it. I've seen Number Dad, and he's definitely one of those squares that like doesn't really want to find his flowers. So I understand. I'm with you guys. Like just drop Number Dad at this cage match and be done with it, and roll on, because you two are amazing in the ring. I don't know if you noticed, because I know you're a busy guy, but in Top Rope Wrestling, the group on Facebook, you guys actually won our a couple of my invitational tag team tournaments, and damn
I
near
saw
got to the
that.
finals.
I was like, I know, I was like, oh, these guys love us. It's nice to see that we got
No,
some.
we really do, man. I mean, it finally got to the Lucha Bros, and people were like, "Sorry, click,"
Yeah,
But you
understandable.
guys were like in the semifinal, like final four, and honestly, like I was your biggest fan there. I was like, "No, vote for these guys. They're the shit. Like you need to vote for these guys." And people are like, "Lucha Bros, I don't know, man." So I mean, tough luck, but it was nice to see that love. Like you got the support of our group, and definitely this podcast. I'm hoping things work out for you in the cage. Now, I know there's a lot of people who might see this and start hearing us talk about this stuff and think, "Wow, like this is awesome! Like, where do I get to, where do I go to watch this or tune in or see this cage match? Like, how does one go about watching CWF if they're not in the crowd, you know, in Carolina?"
Okay, so 3 times a month, 3 Saturdays out of every month in the year, you can find us 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, twitch.tv/CWF Mid-Atlantic. You can find us there. They have a post show after every show, so you'll get to see a little bit of the superstars come out and talk and give you a little bit extra, and you get to see a little bit of behind the scenes and stuff like that. But twitch.tv, sorry, I keep wanting to say .com, twitch.tv/CWF Mid-Atlantic, 3 Saturdays out of the month. Our schedule is usually updated at the beginning of every month, so all three of the shows get laid out for everybody to know what's going on and know which week we're off and stuff like that. And then you can find my journey if you want to follow it at youtube.com/buddyflowers. And you'll be able to see where I had my very first matches on there, how I've started to evolve some of my CWF stuff, and if you want to follow, there will be more stuff coming to the Buddy Flowers YouTube page. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge here soon. We're trying to get some extra stuff up there for everybody to enjoy some different kind of content. I used to do gaming streaming. I'd like to do that again on there at some point in time, chill out with people, play some games
Right.
with some fans and stuff like that. And then all kinds of other content. I'm a funny guy and I have a lot of thoughts I'd like
Yeah.
to put out there. But yeah, that's where you can find CWF, and that's where you can find my adventures. And then I'm on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. I'm not on the Bluebird. I don't do that, but Number Bruh does.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely a follower of the YouTube page and Twitch and all that, but I want to make sure that everybody knows, because this stuff is definitely worth a watch. And your page is hilarious. That's where like the video of the prank on Danny Vegas is, and a bunch of other stuff that just makes you laugh. And then there's all kinds of matches. It's got a lot of content. Like I would definitely prove it for anybody watching this. Please go check that out. Now, as far as other content goes, I know Buddy has got a few opportunities here and there, and one of them actually seems pretty promising. But I'm gonna let you go into it. Like, what if you are able to? Is there a segment, maybe a little something outside of the ring that CWF is working with you to put together?
Um, as you know, I am a connoisseur of snacks and all things edible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in my life, I have discovered a certain way of preparing said snacks and distributing them to the people. and I may or may not be in the works of it'll be a small segment show called Baked with Buddy, where I will prepare said snacks slash edibles for a certain guest of whichever promotion, and we'll highlight, promote some stuff, and I'll teach some people how to bake some goodies.
That's gonna be cool. Like I'm looking forward to that. Um, I think if you have some time, we have a couple of questions like from fans of Buddy. They just heard that I was coming on with you, and they were like, "Oh, please ask him this, please ask him that." So let's give the fans at least a small part of this, so they don't feel left out.
Shoot.
All right, so our first question was from Bojack, and he basically said, since we get all these crazy videos from the indie scene, what's the wildest thing that you've ever seen live, like at a show or after?
Well, if you know me, you know I have had some run-ins with the group, the Amish Outlaws, or better known, Viva Los Amish, as their trio name. And they have a particular winged friend on their team that is Betsy the chicken. And
Oh,
one night, I witnessed with my eyes Betsy the chicken eat corn feed off of a man's chest in the middle of the ring and pin him.
that is definitely wild, dude. That's
I
awesome.
don't know how many times a live chicken has gotten a 3 count in a ring before, but I
I
got to see it.
honestly, that should have made a show. I'm not like a producer of CWF, but if that happened, we need to have cameras rolling. That's
Well,
crazy.
it wasn't at a CWF show, but it was, yeah,
Oh,
it was
I got you. It was just an
right
indie
out there.
show.
Was yeah, some indie stuff. I'm surprised no one got a video and posted it.
I know, right? All these smartphones and not one YouTube post of a chicken pinning a man in a ring while eating feed off his chest. Come
Well,
on.
I'm sure that's not the craziest thing Betsy will get to do in her career.
Probably not.
She's a superstar.
I,
She's the most likable person of that team, obviously.
oh yeah, if you know them, that's clear. But yeah, like Betsy the chicken, I'm a mark now. Like, let's go, Betsy.
Well, that's yeah. Betsy brings
That's
in the bucks.
that's definitely cool. She's definitely, top clucker in my opinion. Um all right. Oh, this is not a bad one. We got Jose who asked, what's your favorite moment so far since becoming a wrestler? Like in or out of the ring? What was that moment that just made you like, yo, this is it. This is bar none like best thing so far.
Well, I think since I got to do it pretty early, winning the CWF Tag Team Championship is probably number one. But the biggest thing, honestly, and the thing that gets my heart every time is being out there with the fans and them actually embracing me. Little kids coming up and wanting an autograph or wanting a T-shirt or anything. Like I try not to get choked up now thinking about it because it's one of those things like you never in a million years think that, you could be in that position where someone might look up to you. And when they do, when they come and embrace you like that, it makes you feel a whole nother way that the championship can't even, get to.
Right, right. No, I think that's one thing. Like, I think maybe us as fans are a little too critical of wrestlers sometimes because they don't know what exactly wrestlers put themselves through or why. And I think you kind of laid out a little bit of that right there. Because like you guys are going out and putting yourselves on the line because you want people to have that feeling or to get behind you or to be, impressed or amazed or entertained or look up to you. And it's not just like, oh well, Buddy Flowers is making a ton of money. He should be doing this and that. And it's not about that. Like, yeah, sure, we get paid, but there's so much more to it. And I don't think some fans understand that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you dropping that. Like that's big. That's real big. And from there, there's a few other little things I wanted to touch on. Like for one, I noticed and for you of all people, this is crazy, but they actually removed your Wikipedia page the other day for inaccurate information. I was like, that's calling the freaking that's the pot calling the kettle black. But I thought maybe we could get into some of the information and just do like a quick, you can expand if you want, but just do like a quick true false with Buddy Flowers while I have you here, because I have a few little things that were on that page before it was removed. And I'm just going to throw them out there. You tell me if there's any truth to it or if it's just completely inaccurate. Like, for one, we touched on already, AJ Styles actually stole your hair at an indie show before coming to WWE.
I don't know how much truth there is to that one, but I can definitely say that I've seen his hair a couple of times and wondered how he keeps it so shiny. But I don't know if
Yeah.
he got it from me. I'm not gonna ring any truth in this
I
out.
mean, being a fan of AJ myself, I remember him in the Impact days, and he had the short hair. All of a sudden one day he came out and he had the long locks, and then I'm watching Buddy Flowers, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, did you go through the Carolinas a lot? Did you see this and be like, I gotta get that? So it kind of felt like maybe it could be true. I had to run that one by you, and
No.
obviously we've touched on flower power, we've touched on your edibles, and knowing that you're kind of like, as I was trying to say, the god of sticky green on the indie scene. This one kind of hit me, and I don't even know how it's possible when you consider ages, but Buddy Flowers smoked up RVD for the first time. True or false?
Actually, that one, there might be some truth to that one. If you consider being in the womb as being a person, and I might have sentiently controlled my mother for a small amount of time, one of the only people to possibly do that back in, oh, when would I have been conceived? Because we're going to say he didn't smoke until 1994-ish. He didn't until then, and
I
then
mean, I believe it.
1994, I was the first fetus to sentiently control his mother to smoke a doob with RVD.
But I was big on the Philly scene back then. That's where I was living, and a few years, and maybe right around that time, we got the whole RVD 420 means I just smoked your ass. So it could be possible. I mean, there's some truth to that, folks.
I
You
mean, it
can't
could have been
argue
my
the
dad,
logic.
Buford Flower Sr., too, so you never know.
There we go. Shout out to Buford Senior. I totally forgot about him. Yeah, he could have done it too. I mean, there's a little bit of truth to that one, so I dig it. Okay, so then this next one, not totally sure about it. Number Bro's dad is actually the leader of Dynasty from MLW, Richard Holiday. True or
Uh,
false?
I don't know that
I know, I saw that and I was like, well, he is a square.
one.
It could be true. I gotta ask Buddy about this one. You know.
I'm hoping to bring it back to the cage match. I'm hoping that it's me and Number Dad in there as final two, because maybe I get the opportunity to show everybody what Number Dad actually looks like.
Oh my God.
Um,
Could you imagine, like, you rip off his mask and there's Richard Holiday, like, greetings, consumers. I'm
you know
better than
what?
you, and you know it.
Tune in this weekend, this Saturday. You might find out tomorrow night.
You never know unless you tune
Richard
in.
Holiday might be on CWF. You heard it here first, folks.
Could be. I mean, the dude's been, in multiple places. I've seen him in MLW, PW, a lot of spots. So it's a possibility, folks. You have to tune in to find out. Hopefully, Buddy rips this guy's mask off, and that's, hey, big, like, big reveal at the end of the show. Holy shit! Fade to black. Okay, so I'm glad we were able to clear that up a little bit. I'm trying to see what I have left here for you. We talked about the Pineapple Express. We talked about cooking with
Ride
butter.
those waves.
Ride those waves, baby. I mean, yes, definitely. Oh, well, this was a good one that we got from one of our group members, and they asked if you could wrestle anybody, like have a dream match with anyone in wrestling today or really ever, who would you want to face?
Well, I think my money match would be a match with RVD, but there would be a stipulation that I don't want to say on the air, because if I do, because I've held it to my heart so far and no one has thought about it yet. So if I can keep holding on to it and not put it out there, it might not get stolen.
You
We
don't
can
have to
talk
give us
about it
everything.
afterwards.
Yeah.
But I think my moneymaker would be a match with RVD. But if it could happen, because it's one of those things that sucks getting into wrestling a generation behind. A lot of the guys you look up to are on their way out the door or already gone out the door. But a dream match with me would be my edge legs versus Edge's edge legs and see who has the better edge legs.
Right. I mean, he's trying to make a comeback from what I've heard. So maybe, if we can get you there at the right time, it could still happen. And I mean, RVD would be great. I could see it now, like edible on a pole match or something. Like that would be like I could already see like the ultimate high match, like like that would be sweet. I would definitely tune in for that. I would show up front row for that, no lie. All right, so we got the dream singles. Is there any kind of like dream tag team match, like as far as you and Pineapple Express against? Because I already did a little bit of that myself in group with the tournament. But what would you say, like if you and Number Bro stay together and you could pick any tag team to go after, who would it be?
I think my number one match, I think I could have at some point. I don't think I'm there yet. I think I'm a little bit too green for lack of better words. Um
Green is good.
I would love to take the revival with Number Bro one day. I think our offset style with their Fist and Fury style would create a very wonderful spectacle at some point in time. But I think me and Number Bro might be a little bit too young for that right now. It might be barking a little bit too high.
That's
But
all right. You
one
can
day, yeah,
dream.
to me, a match with those guys would be yeah, that'd be it right there.
I'm with you, dude, because like, as far as their gimmick and then Pineapple Express's gimmick, it's like the ultimate opposite. It's like these chill dudes who just come out and try to like, put on a good show and entertain people against like, a couple of dickbags who take themselves too seriously. It's like it's perfect. It's
Yeah,
perfect. I
yeah.
can't I can't knock it. It's great. I'm trying to think. I'm looking through all my questions. I'm making sure I cover everything. I know, you've been awesome to give us all this time. Let's see here. Fucking the bunny. And yeah, dude, damn. Like, oh, you know what? We touched on it a little bit, but the name Buddy Flowers, that's obviously short for Buford, and we covered Flower Power. Now I know another big mantra that you guys have with whether it's you or Pineapple Express is ride the wave. Do you want to explain that a little bit to the people, or does that kind of go without?
Well, it kind of does, but it kind of doesn't because a lot of people, yeah, generally speaking, ride the wave just means sticking with not necessarily the status quo because at the end of the day, if you can make a path while other people drive in circles, why would you not, take the alternative route? Not necessarily saying that's like taking a shortcut or whatever. It's just like going back to being the flower, being unique. You ride the wave but you don't have to do it the same way everybody else does. You don't have to, when the lows get low, give up and go home. You can find another way to ride that wave. If you keep crashing, you get up and you find a way to balance. You don't ever let the wave crash you down and get up and go back on the beach. You get up and you find another wave. You ride that one until it crashes. Because eventually, and that's what I think a lot of people don't understand is they want it to last forever. Every wave comes crashing down at some point. You can't ride it forever, and you have to learn to enjoy it in the moment because at any single moment, that wave can come crumbling down, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can ride it as perfect as you can. You can be so skilled at surfing and, crashing out and all that stuff with the waves. I'm going to get too technical with the terms now. I'm rambling, but you can be as good as you think you are, but everybody's going to have to take a tumble. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. And riding the wave is knowing not only that, yeah, we're going to have this moment for a while, but it does have to come to an end. And it's an accepting thing.
Oh, no, I totally get it. And that was one of the reasons I asked because I've heard it before, but I wanted people to hear that it was just more than again, like, oh, we're getting fucked up, we're riding that wave. Like people just immediately assume, oh, well, he's a stoner, so he's got all these little stoner catchphrases, but there's so much more to Buddy and there's so much more to Pineapple Express than that, which I think makes you and the team that much better. So, I mean, I thank you for all this time. I'm
Thank
just
you.
gonna I'm just gonna if you got anything else, I'll just lay out and let you like plug, pop away, do whatever you'd like, and then we'll just wrap this up because this has been an amazing interview. We'll be happy to have you back whenever you're free. We'd love to have you back, after not only the cage match, but I know like CWF kind of has their own version of like WrestleMania coming up, like their big event. And once that goes down, we'd love to have you on to talk about like what happened, how you got involved, how things worked out for Buddy.
Yeah, give me one moment to pull this up because I want to try and give everybody that's on the card a second to
Oh
get a
no,
little
go
shine.
Oh no, go right ahead because while you're doing that, I'll just do my ending spiel and then we'll let you wrap things up. Like everybody, I want to thank you for watching. Please come check us out at Top Rope Wrestling on Facebook. Please come search for Buddy on Facebook as well. We're both great follows. We've also obviously been working on setting up like Podbean pages and expanding this place. And we talk about all things wrestling. I mean, all. We have discussion threads for everything. We have group titles. I'm a 10-time champion myself. So definitely come find us, check us out, come chat with us. Give us some questions and some content for the show. We'll be a little bit more prepared with Buddy, and if he's ready, I'm gonna let him, give everybody some love and wrap this up, and then we're just gonna say peace.
Yeah, tomorrow night is Ultimate Survivor. I'm not quite sure which number it is. I don't want to guess and get it wrong, but tomorrow night, 7:30, twitch.tv, CWF, Mid-Atlantic. There's going to be a bunch of matches going on. It's pretty much our version of Survivor Series. There's going to be a bunch of 5-on-5, 4-on-4 elimination styles, and then we got a couple of other crazy kind of matches going on. Tomorrow night, the first, I think it's on the card, at least the way it is. I'll read it off. Team Amish versus Team Mike Mars in a Cybernetico match. Not quite sure what the rules of that are, but I do know it is a 5-on-5 elimination style. Next is a 4-on-4 elimination match between Chris Riddle and Team Bit Don. And if you know Chris Riddle and Con O'Kelly, they are two commentators that we've had that are transitioning to in-ring competitors, and they have been beefing for quite some time. And this 4-on-4 is Chris Riddle's first actual in-ring match, and he's hoping to settle the score with Con O'Kelly and the drama that they've had for quite a while now. The next match is sure to be a doozy because we all love seeing the All-Stars get beat up. But it's the 17th annual Triathlon Survivor match. It's going to be a 3-on-3 match with Eric Royal, TJ Moss, and the coach taking on Roy Wilkins, Michael McAllister, and AJ Adrian Jackson. Next match is, of course, the main event, which I've talked about a little bit before on the show. I'm going to go ahead and read off the people in it since you already know what the match is going on. We've got Cowboy Cool J, one of my cool friends. TKO, Teddy Ireland Jr., one of my cool friends. My number one friend, Number Bruh. Me, Buddy Flowers. Ethan Sharp, Dirty Daddy, Corporate Number Dad, and Velquero del Diablo. And that's all going on again tomorrow night, 7:30, twitch.tv/CWF Mid-Atlantic. And then, like you said, next month, December 28th is CWF Presents Battlecade. And that's going to be our big doozy. There's going to be a lot of beef that's been riling up all year. That's where everything gets settled because once January 2020 comes, it's a whole new year and everything is different.
Yeah, and we will definitely have you back after that show, or really whenever you're available, because like I know the rest of the group is jealous. They wanted to be on. Unfortunately, I was the only one home. Sorry, guys, and we wish you the best of luck on Saturday night. I personally, being a man of my age, like Saturday night on a wrestling or Saturday night and wrestling is like traditional, like that's sacred. So that's pretty cool. I know I'll be tuning in. I hope you guys do too. And for now, for Buddy, for me, we will catch you later. Ride that wave, y'all. Peace.